Okay, so I'm just asking about the future energy of the world or of the society, or of humanity. So what I'm getting here is the first card that I drew out is the Eight of Swords. And then after that is flanked by the Two of Wands and the Lover's card. Okay, then after that going on, I have the Nine of Wands and is flanked by the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. And then after that, continuing on, then four cards came out. So basically it is the Empress and the Hermit, flanked by the Queen of Wands and the Five of Wands. And then I took out some oracle cards, and what I have is the Firefly, the Cobra, and the Snake. So I'm just going to go through what's my interpretation of these cards. So this is the asking about the energy of humanity on earth at the present moment, in the immediate future, and in the future. Okay, so the first card I drew out is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords here from this card, what I feel is that we are being entrapped. We cannot see beyond a certain point. We are entrapped. There could be knowledge which is out there, but we're just not seeing it because we have our blindfolds on. And it's not like, somebody is forcing us to have these blindfolds on. Okay, it's like the knowledge is there for our taking, but we're just not taking it. We kind of like feel very comfortable in our comfort zone, but even in our comfort zone, it's like we're surrounded by waters. It's not dry. It's a very uncomfortable reality, but that is our comfort zone. We don't want to see beyond a certain point. We're comfortable being blindfolded. But so that is the reality. But however, I draw out these two cards. What it shows is that for the Two of Wands and for the Lovers, we are flanked by these cards, meaning that this is our energy, and the energy of looking forward, okay, hope and determination. That is our innate energy, okay, that cannot be denied. We're always looking for what is in the future, what is our potential. Okay, and then the other card here, this is the Lovers. We are loving beings, we're always protected, and this is our destiny. Our destiny is basically love, okay, and it cannot be denied. So if you can see, the reality is grayish, but our innate energy is gold. Okay, so this is something that cannot be suppressed. Okay, now going into so basically we're being blindfolded now, but it's like we cannot help it. We are eventually going to take off that mask because of our energy here, our innate energy, and that is we want to look forward. We are not afraid of seeing what is out there. Okay, our destiny is to be loving beings, and if we have on this blindfold, we cannot meet these two innate energy of ours, and it's really coming up. It's really powerful. You cannot suppress this. Okay, now going into the immediate future. Immediate future, this is where, okay, we've taken off our blindfold, but we're in a state of defensiveness. Maybe it's because what we realize, and then we may feel a bit threatened because we have taken off our blindfold now, and yeah, so we feel like we need to do something. We're kind of like going into the thinking mode, Previously, you're not thinking because you're being blindfolded. Now that you have taken off now that we have taken off our mask, we see what is there, and we don't like what we see. We kind of get the feeling that we're out here in the desolate land, and here you have the structure here. That means the system is very much in place. The system that's tying us down. Okay, so here we don't like what we see, but we're feeling defensive, but we are also starting to plan. Okay, so then for those of us, that means we are waking up, but it is a slow awakening, but it is happening. Okay, slow awakening, maybe not as fast as I would like it, but generally what happened is that there is the energy that people are waking up. People are definitely waking up, and it's kind of like a wave, and it's starting. Okay, now people are feeling defensive because once they take off their blindfold, this is what they see. Okay, and the place is arid, is dry, and there's also a lot of uncertainty. You see the moon, there's a lot of uncertainty here. But we have to open up our eyes, because then we feel that hope is not lost. Hope is not lost. Okay, this is where we can start planning. Now, at this stage, there will be some who will be clinging on to the system, and if they do, then they will just be dependent on the system. They will be poor. And then there are those who realize that we cannot depend on the system. So those who depend on the system, you see, the structure is here. That structure, again, is here. It's the same structure. Okay, and here where the structure is taking up all the pentacles, and we're just left with a small little cup. But we're much more than that. We're much more than that, which is what these people realize. So once we start waking up, there are two options here. Either we depend on the system, or we depend on ourselves. Okay, so those who depend on ourselves, we start building our lives, because we know that we cannot depend on the system. Okay, we start building our wealth. Okay, so once again, we go from stage 1 where we are blinded to stage 2 where we are awakened. And when we do awaken, and this will happen in waves, there is a lot of uncertainty. We realize that, life is not what it is. Okay, and that there is much that we need to start on. Okay, so at first we feel a bit despondent, a bit defensive, but then after that we quickly busy ourselves, and then there is hope. Of course, there will be some who will be dependent on the system. Okay, however, the energy is, this is our innate energy that cannot be denied of us. Okay, it is the ego energy, the one that seeks freedom, and it is the energy of the lovers, the one that where we want to meet our destiny. Destiny calls us. Okay, so yeah, so then after that, in the future, what happened is that what's going to happen in the future, the ultimate future. Okay, so this is a stage we're going through, from being blindfolded to taking off our blindfold and realizing the work that needs to be done. Okay, and there will be some who will continue to depend on the system, and there will be some who will start working on ourselves, where we are dependent on ourselves. And then this is the ultimate outcome. The ultimate outcome is the Empress. It's full of abundance, it's full of freedom. You have the freedom, and this is where you will protect freedom at all cost. Okay, and the world is at your oyster, that kind of thing. The world is at your feet. Okay, the world is yours. Okay, and there will be abundance here. She is majestic. Okay, so once again, she is majestic, and so she is out there. Nothing can stop her. That is the reality. So basically, these two cards in the middle is going to be the reality of the ultimate outcome. And this is where the ultimate outcome shows that we will need to look inwards. We depend on ourselves and we look inwards. We're always looking inwards for inspiration, for energy. Okay, that is our lives. We're not looking outwards anymore. We're always depending on ourselves, our spiritual powers, and that is how we can manifest so much abundance. So then at the same time, I took out 2 cards here, which is the underlying energy of the ultimate outcome. And the underlying energy is that we have this Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands shows confidence, shows that we can reach our goals. And when we go about our lives, there is hope. Okay, there is a desire to manifest things, what we desire to manifest. And there is a calm confidence that we can do it. So which is why we're able to manifest the abundance, and where we also realize that in order to manifest our desires, okay, we will need to look inwards. It will be a challenging time, but it is something that we relish. We relish challenges, okay? We relish challenges, and there is going to be diversity. So for the ultimate energy here is not like we are trying to entrap you so that everything is homogeneous. No, we revel in our diversity, okay? And with diversity, it's like we're able to bring abundance. So basically, this is the actual reality, the outcome here, where there's going to be abundance and where people realize and they depend on themselves more. There's going to be a lot of meditation, looking inwards, and we can find the light here. The underlying energy is that there is a desire, a confident desire, okay, a confident desire and calmness that we can achieve whatever we want to achieve, and that there will be diversity. And this diversity, it is welcomed. It is welcomed, okay? Yeah, so basically this is from the tarot cards. Now then after that, I have also drawn out some oracle cards. So what it shows is that for the current being, don't be afraid. Okay, don't be afraid, because we are like the firefly. We have this kind of like this inner light within us. It's kind of like the firefly. The firefly is such a small insect, and like let's say if you're walking down a dark road, okay, then you will notice this green flicker, this light that flickers. It is the firefly, and you can see it like 20 feet away, 30 feet away. So even though it's small, but the light that it emits, it will fill the darkness. Okay, that is how powerful our light is within us. So be like the firefly. Okay, just know that, because even though you may feel that you are a small being, which we are not, but the light within us is very powerful, okay, and it can dispel all darkness. So do not be afraid of the darkness, because the light within us, it can dispel the darkness, okay, just like the firefly. So yeah, so here we're in a defensive mode here, which is here. This is what happens when we wake up. We become defensive. We feel like we need to protect. We become upright. So Cobra is all about speed, agility, ready to strike. Okay, so we are ready to strike when we awaken. Okay, because we know that we have the light. And basically this whole process here is we're going through a transformation from being blinded to waking up, and then feeling that this is not right, we got to do something about this, to claiming our birthright. And in that case, it is abundance, because we look inwards. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's the reading for today on the energy of the humanity.